love you.
I spoke to Lisa Marie Presley recently, who I thought, it was a beautiful interview because I felt for the first time that she really, really loved him.
She did.
Really, really loved him.
She did. It was a surprise to me. I had heard it on television, but he never told me. He called me, and I said, I've been hearing about you being married to Lisa Marie Presley. He said, yes, that's why I called you. I wanted to tell you about it. And she's right here. You want to speak to her? And I spoke to her. Being raised in the South, she had that accent. She had a very deep voice also. And I told Michael, I said, Michael, that's not her. That's a black girl that I spoke to.
Before even answering questions about him or talking about him, it would need to be understood fully his life, which is completely different than anyone else's life that ever was, except for, my father.
Mm-hmm. Well, we first met, she was 7 years old and I was 17. This was in Las Vegas. She used to come and see my show all the time. We had the only family show on the Strip. It was the Jackson 5.
There's a group in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, that I know you'd like to meet. It's one of the hottest groups around. And they're really fantastic. They just came in the show. They're not down here anymore, but they are in here. The Jackson 5.
There's a song called Killing Me Softly.
Turn the house lights up, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, fellas. I see you. There you go. Yeah. You're really great, folks. You're really great, ladies and gentlemen. They open here tomorrow night, so if you get a chance, come in and see. I'd like to introduce my little daughter, ladies and gentlemen. She's in the other. She just turned 6 years old, and she's Lisa, stand up, honey. Look at her. Turn around. Hey. Hello. Hi, honey. That's enough. Don't steal the life from your daddy,
And she used to come as a little girl and sit right up front. She came quite often. She came with a lot of bodyguards. And
had you stayed in touch over all those years?
Sure. Then she'd come backstage, and I'd, talk and say hi, and then she'd come again. And I thought she was sweet and loving, and I always hoped I'd see her again.
We didn't stay in touch after
We didn't stay in touch after that, no.
Go ahead. You want to say what happened?
No, you can say. You have a good memory.
No, you said you were going to say.
Well, at first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He'd go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. And he'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back. I said, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces. And then, really did, because I felt that was supposed to be me. I really did.
So you fell in love with him because of?
For him, because he was an incredibly dynamic person. If you were in his vicinity and he wanted to give, and he showed you who he was, if he was willing to do that, in any way,
Yeah.
man, I have never felt so high in my life.
Yeah.
I have never felt so high in my life as that, and I am not lying when I say that. He had something so intoxicating about him, and when he was on, and when he was ready to share with you or give it to you, and be himself and allow you to come in, I don't know if I've ever been that intoxicated by anything.
You titled the blog, He Knew. What did he know?
When I was watching the footage of the ambulance backing out of the driveway, and I went back to this conversation that I had with him at Neverland in the library. We were sitting by the fire, and he was telling me that he was afraid that he was going to end up like my father. You know, he was always asking me about when he died and how it happened and when it happened and where. And
Michael was always asking you about your father.
yes. And he said, I feel like I'm going to end up the same way.
And did you say why?
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? And I don't understand. Down to the play-by-play incident was identical.
Are you struck between the parallel in your father's life and Michael Jackson's life? Your father and your former husband?
Yes. It really blows me away, to be honest with you. I still try to figure out what is it that I had to go through it twice, where these two incredible people, and I speak, you know, with the utmost respect and love, because I had that for both.
Your father and Michael?
Yes, who had the same fate. What is it about me? Why did I have to I went through it once, that was painful, and I went through it again, and I don't quite understand it, you know?
This is a home in Los Angeles where Michael Jackson died. Across the street, just a stone's throw away, was Elvis Presley's California home, where Lisa Marie spent a lot of time growing up. What about the irony of that? Just across the street.
It's my mother. When I came home after being in England for so long, I wanted to drive by and see where it was, and I lived there up until after he died. She sold it, and I had several birthdays there, and I said, she said, it's right across the street. I said, oh please, it's not right across the street. You're being, you know, whatever, shoot her off. And I drove, and it literally, I was completely, you know, I don't even know how to describe that, how that felt. Because I don't even know if he knew. That was just another thing where these things keep happening, and I still, in the universe, and I'm, okay, then what is it that I'm trying to learn here? What is it that I need to know?
I love Lisa's children, but it's been a mission.
Going to adopt, or
Pardon?
to adopt them, though.
Oh, I love her children. They're sweet. I think they love me very much. I love them.
They do.
because I just can't stop.